and welcome everyone to another Roulette Rivals Shoutcast. Our 16 match between ChrisX3 and lukedotpng. This is the third round of the Swiss tournament. Both players are currently up 2-0, if I'm not mistaken. This will be their third match. One of them likely will leave with a 3-0 record, and one of them with a 2-1 record, or both will leave with a 2.5 to 2.5 record. 2.5 points rather. Anyway, welcome in everyone. Welcome in everybody from Blunt's stream as well. Thanks for the raid. And first, a map is going to be Bangkok in a couple of seconds, which was picked by ChrisX3. 5-4 Chris, 4-4 Luke. Pretty similar statistics, also similar personal bests. Let's see what they're going to be doing with this spin. It is Jordan Cross with Katana as Abel De Silva and Ken Morgan Kitchen Knife as the Exterminator. And I have to admit, off the top of my head, I don't actually know where the Katana is. I imagine it is somewhere in Jordan's bedroom. That is, or Heidi's room or whatever. Somewhere along there is what I would have imagined as well. So let's see. Both players starting a suit. Not actually both players starting suit. I think Chris is starting in a groundskeeper. Luke started a suit. Grab an Abel quickly. Big whoosh on Chris's end. And same on Luke. Both expertly grabbing. Maybe now. The whoosh on Luke's end didn't quite work first time. Neither the second time. That's a big whoosh now. Now he's coming. And that is the disguise grab for both. In the meantime, Chris is already halfway up the stairs though. Remembers he can just run in like normal. As a band member, he is allowed up there. Just needs the katana and needs a disguise for it. Let's see what his plan is for that. Grabbing his smuggle. In the meantime, Luke also arrived up here. Chris wants to be doing some phone alluring, but Jordan does interact with Abel apparently once he sees him. Both players phone gaming right now. Easily dragging Jordan into different rooms. Luke opting for the bathroom. And now whooshes him inside. He still doesn't want that though. Chris managed to get him to the bathroom. Luke now had Jordan scream out. Unconscious witness as that was a frontal KO. But that seems to be fine. And Chris has just obtained the first kill. Jordan Cross Katana is Abel De Silva. Luke is gonna follow in a couple of seconds. Just grab the katana, only needs to get over there unseen. That is big whooshes there, but hopefully that should be fine. There we have it. Both players green against Jordan kills. Chris remembered to pick up the kitchen knife on his way down. Luke will now pick up his smuggle and might do the same, although might not either. Let's see, Luke also remembers the kitchen knife. Not sure if there are a lot of other kitchen knives on this map though. This might be the easiest one to grab. Exterminator. And then likely I see a durian in Chris' inventory, so it's likely going to be a bathroom medic isolation for Ken. And I also see the same durian in Luke's inventory. So likely he'll do something similar. Luke had a gunshot hurt by shooting the camera, but seems to be fine now. And only has a single trank shot left now, and is going to use that on the Exterminator. The throw on the cam, and also the other KO'd body is going to take care of that. Or just going to distract that hotel staff long enough on Luke's end. So you can do that. Chris might not be going for a bathroom isolation, by the way. This looks to be a phone Apache isolation. Big whooshes, I'm not quite sure where from. But that is Chris already done. Luke seems to be doing the same. But sadly just a little bit too slow. The medic Ken's guard, who's now gonna realize the medic, can go in for the phone now. And Chris is already out though. You can see Luke is delaying Ken as much as possible. Use the briefcase to get him into that corner. And now the kitchen knife, and Luke is gonna be out at about, I don't know, 10-15 seconds as well. But that is going to be sadly a little too late. Photo finish window running out in 1 second, 0 seconds. That's photo finish window done. At least since we're below 10 minutes. And that's got to hurt for Luke. I mean, you're on the way to the exit. And you hear the defeat. That is unlucky. So, yeah. Luke, just 40 seconds slower or something. Him not getting able straight at the start might have been what cost him the match here. Or the map, rather. Did have some troubles. Next up, though, we have Haven Island, which was picked by Luke. Afterwards, we will see at least one more random map, as this is a best of 5 match. So it ends when either player gets to 6 points, or when we end in a 5-5 tie. Which is possible on the final map. That means, though, Chris cannot win on this map alone. Well, it could be at 4-0 after this. And then we will see one random map with the potential of 2 more afterwards. These random maps can be anything from the trilogy, but Bangkok and Haven, as those 2 have been picked. And Woodland Creek and Berlin. Woodland Creek was banned by ChrisX3 and Berlin was banned by lukedotpng. Those maps will not come up instead. Speaking of Haven Island, see interesting statistics on both sides. Chris 4-1-1, 1 tie. I suspect that is not a timeout tie, but rather, it was a timeout tie. Stephen Bradley falling object in there, I see, all the way back in RWC 2021, which I think was Chris's 4th ever tournament. On the other side, we have Luke, who's definitely been here more, 8-3-1. Also a tie in there. Maybe I can quickly find what that was. It was last year's World Championship, also a timeout tie. So these players definitely not a stranger to ties. Maybe the spin is going to be it, maybe not. It's going to be Tyson Williams, Fiberwire as Villa staff. Likely not a timeout tie, at least. Explosion Accident, personal trainer for Stephen Bradley, and Starfish as a waiter for Ludmila Vetrova. Trickiest part, where is the Starfish, gentlemen? I think there is one in the mansion. But Tyson kill, it's basically free. Steven kill, I wouldn't say free, but pretty much personal trainer might be a bit of trouble to grab sometimes. But that's easily doable. Starfish, waiter Ludmila, that's also pretty easy. So overall, not a hard spin. Let's see. Jet ski for Steven would also be an option. As Blunt pointed out in chat, that is an explosion accident. Let's see. I'm going to assume we see standard cinema isolations for both players now. Chris even going for the early KO and not the audio distraction. There is the starfish. Chris found it. It is in the villa, or one is in the villa bathroom. Luke placed a coin so Tyson doesn't sit down. This is actually pretty interesting, because as soon as, well, Tyson sits down, that might be trouble for players. Chris needs to still change disguises. Chris just used a thrown distraction now, and also another one to get the bodyguard out of the way. That's going to be the 5-wire kill, but Luke definitely had this more optimized, at least a little bit. Both players one kill down and can immediately exit the mansion. I know Chris brought a propane. At least I thought so. Maybe none of them have the... Actually, no, Luke brought the propane upwards, I think. Yes, Chris is actually just grabbing the propane now. I'm sure there's more propane on Haven, right? Let's see if I can quickly find more propane on Haven Island, because otherwise Luke is going to be in a bit of trouble. Because I'm not sure where the nearest propane is for him. Like, the chef's area might have some. Yeah, there's one below the restaurant. And then that's pretty much the only one that's not in the mansion or on Steven's private island. By the boat captain, exactly. But Luke picked it up very early in the spin, so I would assume he just grabbed it. But he didn't. Chris did so, though. Grabbing a... That is a waiter disguise, right? I want to say that was resort staff, but no, the resort staff have the little thing. Luke is trying interesting things here. Needs this disguise, personal trainer disguise for the kill. Though Chris just places a banana openly in the middle of the gym. Somebody will surely see that now. At least in a little bit. Chris just picked up the propane. Now only needs Stephen Bradley. Let's see, there it is. We have Stephen Bradley on target lockdown, but also eliminated on loose end. He set up the kill earlier and then switched into the personal trainer to do the kill. Ooh, but runs into a enforcer on the way outside as the bodyguard. The bodyguard's enforced. And here and then. Very unlucky. In the meantime, Chris also drive-bys Steven with this, with a throw. Well, a thrown propane and a breacher, not a breacher, but a taser dropped. Bit safer as long as you can like line up taser and ooh, but that is big whooshes from Chris, who just tries to change disguises in the middle of the gym. His waiter disguise was still stuck there, and because the personal trainer wasn't found earlier, the guards were still panicking around there. So yeah, Chris needed to get his disguise back, tried to just change when everyone seemingly had turned their backs, but in fact they hadn't. So that's a restart for Chris, which now puts Luke in a slight lead again, who had this first kill a bit more optimized as well. Still not bringing the propane from here. I'm still curious what he's doing. I did not see his setup for the explosion accident kill, but I'm sure I can see it this time. Grabbing the explosive from the security room as well. No need to bring anything to detonate the remote explosion from the get-go. Gets caught by cameras though. This is actually pretty annoying. Luke already left the mansion, doesn't necessarily want to go back there. And I think the only other cam box is, well, there's one in the server room, but that's also mentioned, and there's one in the security hut area. So I suspect they still need to go a bit of a detour for these for the cameras. Luke going for a different strategy to getting this personal trainer now. Has a blue egg but wants to get him inside there. In the meantime, Chris expertly did the Tyson Williams kill again. And is now exiting the mansion. Has the propane, which we've seen earlier, but Luke gets spotted by NPC that's just randomly walking by the window. Sees him change clothes right then and there, and that's another restart for Luke. Very, very unlucky. And that again, swinging back and forth. Chris back in the lead. Still grabbing this waiter early. Another option would just be grabbing him later. That way, oh, he might now. He has dropped the disguise again. This might solve the issue that he had earlier, where his waiter disguise was in the middle of the gym, but he couldn't change there because there were still NPCs all around. Now his waiter disguise isn't in the gym anymore, so once he has the Steven kill, he can just, well, just leave the area and grab his waiter disguise again. Now needs the personal trainer disguise first, though. A couple of prying eyes of NPCs, but the banana should do the trick. Nobody's really watching him here. This is very impressive. Luke picking up the first kill again. And now Chris in need of the Steven kill again. He does opt for an medic here just to get Steven out of this conversation earlier, I suspect. And because he can still afford it. And yeah, now he might even just set up this remote accident explosion. It's gonna wait while it's still in view. But boop, there it goes. ChrisX3 and the second kill, one kill to go. Has the waiter disguise stash, just needs to get back there, but it's just a matter of looping around these guards, as the personal trainer not allowed back there. But these guards aren't the most attentive to their surroundings. Now waiter disguise, starfish already obtained. This is looking very good for Chris so far. Luke is catching up nicely though. Already did the Tyson kill. Is now picking up Steven. Meanwhile, Chris using earlier isolations for Ludmilla. Securing her guard. And then getting her with a phone as Luke is restarting again. I did not see what happened for him there, but I suspect it was something similar. Oh, there's a question mark on that one guard, but a drop will cancel that, and Luke on his way to firm 4-0 lead so far. There it is, the exit, 9 minutes 56. I don't think it's a new personal best, but roughly points given out there. We see 5 stars as required. Personal best, just barely, not 9 minutes 35. Chris's previous personal best on Haven, which is gonna be the same moving forward. But it's not all lost yet. Next map, our first random map, is gonna be Chongqing, which was the first random map pick. If Chris now wins Chongqing as well, he will be victorious in this match and win the match 6-0 and be on 3 wins coming into round 4 of the Swiss tournament. if Luke wins this, he ties up the score 4-2, and we will see another random map, potentially another one after that, basically until either we run out of maps or Chris wins one. These are realistically the two end conditions to this match. We either see 3 more, and then it could be still a Luke win. Reverse sweep is on the available here on the menu, but could also see a 6-0 Chris sweep. Be an impressive feat for sure. Stat wise, players again pretty similar. 7-5-0 on Chris's end, more experienced. Played 12 times versus Luke's 9. Sorry. And 7 wins, 5 losses. Luke, on the other hand, 5 wins, 4 losses. Currently still wreaking havoc in the block of Chongqing, leaving no survivors with some impressive aim. While Chris is also practicing his aim, but on the two drone lure. Personal best of Luke is slightly lower than Chris's though. 4 minutes 44. Very nice. Versus 3 minutes 23. Maybe Chris can improve to a 3 minute 33. Then it's all the same again. Map record currently being 2 minutes 39 seconds. Not far off are these players. So let's see if this is going to be the final spin of the match, or if Luke can hang on and fight back and potentially build his first step to a reverse sweep. Let's see, it is Hush no target KO as a researcher, Imogen Roy's drowning in the suit. Interesting. Hush no KO shotgun researcher is not the hard part about the spin. No KO, a bit of a nuisance, but just have to, well, hold your reflexes about KOing everyone first. Researcher illegal around there, basically free. I mean, there is a free researcher as well. 1 or 2 floors below Hush. I think it's 1 floor below, but I'm not. No, it's actually, I think it's 2 floors below. Anyways, I'm not sure. Imogen drowning suit. That is interesting. I am not sure about the best Imogen drowning spins, to be perfectly honest. Chris already replanning, try to use the shotgun to distract the guards, but I think got spotted putting it back into the briefcase. Now switching to balcony. And while Luke has started Riverside, I think that start is called, and is rapidly approaching Hush, still not wearing the crook disguise, but there is one in the side room, or rather the deprivation chamber. Let's see, Hush in there, I feel like has grown his vision size. And Chris has some troubles with cameras now. He wanted to lock on and throw something at that camera, but sadly the lock on didn't work and he failed, but that camera's luckily for him on a moving arm and is moving. Luke now closely bunt gets the Hush kill. Had him panicking for a bit while he switched disguises, but luckily no one outside heard, and that is first kill done for Luke. Very expertly done. Curious to see what Luke is doing now. I just remembered
we don't have any more fuses.
A way or an option on how to do Imogen drowning. And looks like that might be what Luke is going for. Shooting a drone, going down and medicing her from there should get her to, hopefully, to the bathroom near the security center. Doesn't have a crowbar, luckily there's one right across this hallway. now it looks like Chris has cleaned out the deprivation chamber. It's just clearing out a couple of bodies first. And then... Ooh, Luke tried... Luke tried to long armor Seeker there. All the way across that bottom area, but... That was 2 quick shots and 2 quick misses and a big restart for Luke now. Chris is going for the free researcher. I think the researcher in the top, the deprivation chamber, has just left the room, as he will once he finishes the conversation with Hush. Going down to find more fuses. And Chris is replanning as well now. He did realize that he forgot something. I'm not sure what that is though. A pistol, silenced pistol is what Chris is missing in his loadout. I'm not quite sure what for, to be perfectly honest. Let's see, Chris bullet panicking these guards. Another one is investigating from the top, however. No option of just running there up there immediately. Lots of enforcers for Chris now. Seems to have worked fine. Luke has killed Hush, but is not on green guns again, and he's just realized that as well. That would have been either the biggest server lag we've seen in a while, or red guns from somewhere. And Luke opting for the safe version, restarts again. So both players just restarted. Let's see what their plan is gonna be. ChrisX3 managed to get the researcher earlier this time, and the researcher up here as well. Luring this guard towards the box now. I think he's waiting for Hush to enter this room. It doesn't have the exact timing. There comes Hush. Enforcing the researcher. Needs a place to hide now. And now just basically KOs the guard, shoots Hush, much like Luke did. And that is Hush kill done for Chris. KOing Mogwai so he doesn't find him in the end. Oh, Hush is running for Luke, and Hush is running outside the door. And that is gonna be trouble for Luke. I believe Mogwai already spotted him, although I'm not sure of that. Now he's certainly compromised. And that is another restart for Luke. Not working out for him today. And now Chris, a firm lead right here. Chris was still busy unpacking his shotgun while Hush already started running, which was what in the end caused him to miss Hush. Let's see. Chris now. The one to hopefully a medic Imogen. Going inside the facility now. Chris has not been this far in the spin so far. This is his first time, and Imogen is, I think, currently walking up the stairs inside the core. Let's see, Chris is opting to also go down here for the Seekers. I already like this a lot more. Alright, Luke now leg-shotting Hush. Hopefully that guard did not see anything. Doesn't seem like it though. Green guns Hush kill for Luke again. And Chris also now got Imogen though. Both her and her guard. One of them will now go to one bathroom, the other to the other. And it seems like Imogen will run to this one. I'm not sure if that's optimal, but it certainly seems workable. This might even be the easier one for Chris to get to in a trespassing disguise. So as long, bearing any wall hacks, this is firmly looking like a Chris lead. Round prompt. While Chris just shot another drone, slid down the pipe. Now has to wait for this guard cycle to move. And can then run in, but Chris already on the way out of the facility while Luke is on his way in. A quick scan of that exit, and there we have it, 8 minutes 32. And it seems like Chris will come out of this match victorious with a firm 6-0 sweep. Let's see, Luke this time used a bullet distraction to make Imogen and her guard stop, but he's not aiming high enough. Those shots... Oh, actually, Imogen's shot hit. Okay, I retract everything I just said. That did not look like it was going to hit. The one on her guard apparently didn't hit, though. Oh, now it did. Okay, it was just delayed. I take everything back I just said. Let's see if Luke get out of this green guns. That's the guard count, but it does seem like it. Very nicely done. Yet again on all these maps, Bangkok, Chongqing, Luke would have been out a couple seconds, 2 minutes after Chris, and the scoreline 6-0 definitely doesn't show the full story. Tight match all around. But let's see where that puts our players. So this is, and now let me just quickly refresh this to make sure it's up to date. This was a Swiss round 3 match, and this now puts ChrisX3 third place with 3 points. Who holds a score of 1.2 and a points differential of 6. Those are tiebreakers. Will come in at the very last round, likely. Luke, however, will currently stay 13th with 2 points he accumulated before this match, and will not raise any higher, at least not in this stage of the Swiss. Next one, probably again. Let's see, we do also have some upcoming matches. And in the next one, it's only happening in 3 hours and a little bit. I think there was one scheduled for tonight, but that is being rescheduled for another day. So the next match is going to happen in 3.5 hours at 23 o'clock Central European Time. It is Channel Joint versus Mr. Mike playing Bangkok and Dubai. Currently no shoutcasters yet, but I'm sure we'll find some in due time. After that, we got some matches tomorrow at 14 CET. Peter Dutton MP versus Deadly Muffin Man. Soviet Dubov versus Afro tomorrow at 18. I think that might have been the match that got rescheduled from today. Cotility versus Giannini tomorrow at 19. Front 7 versus Chromex tomorrow at 20. Same time as Infrafun versus BLW. And Dazzle and T-Nord will round it off on Saturday with 4 additional matches shown that are currently not on there. Alright, in case you want to see these matches in your local time zone or see the casters once they are assigned, just go to hitmaps.com with the full list of matches as well as Shoutcast links. And and then at this point, I think all I've left to say is to thank you all very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the cast. Thanks to the 2 players for playing, and congratulations to Chris for winning this one. Thanks to Pidgearo for adminning this match for us, first time admin, and I think it went quite well. So definitely happy for that. Yeah, thanks all of you for watching. I hope to see you soon in another Roulette Rivals cast. Thank you and goodbye.